Hello there, folks. Here's a quick application today. Talk about how to use the Banner Engineering TL70 wireless light stack with the RedLion product as a Modbus master. And what I'm going to do in this application is something totally different. I'm going to set up an array tag to look at all the registers within that device, and then I'm going to show you how you can easily copy and duplicate that many times over when you build it one time. So I'm going to start off first with the first one. And I should say here, let me show you something. This is what I'm using. I'm using one of these TL70 wireless modular tower lights. It means nodes, wireless node, talking back to a banner gateway. And on the application I'm going to be building today, I actually have a green light here, I have a yellow light here, and I have in my application I got a blue light here, and then the customer has a red light on top of there, and then has the sound guy. So I'm using basically 5 different modules on this wireless stack here. And you can see here's the part number and how you order it and so forth. You set the dip switches for each different module. So anyway, let me show you how I'm going to build this in my system. I go over here and I'm in RedLion software. So I'm going to go to data tags on the left. And I'm going to create a new tag first of all right here, a new tag. And I'm just going to call this node. I'll just leave it node. Sure, node data. And then where it says extend right here, I'm going to make this thing an array of 16. Where it says internal, I'm going to go ahead and map this to the Banner wireless gateway. Now this is the first node on the system, so if you're familiar with Banner's wireless products, each node generally takes up 16 registers. So I want to make this guy, the gateway takes up the first 16, and this guy will start off at number 17. So there's the array set up here. Just to show you guys this working quickly, I'm going to go to display pages. Here I am. Now if I go over to the right side, data tags on the right side, if I click on that node data, because it's an array, notice here, boom, I can expand and look at all 16 registers in there, which of course is 0 through 15. So if I want to look at just the input data, oh, you know what I should do? Hold on, team. Let me go back to here. I want to fix this. This is one of my complaints. This default integer RedLion actually makes it act as a sign, so I want to make sure it's an unsigned integer. So I'll go back to here. I'm going to click on the first one, hold my shift button down, click on the number 7, which is 8 values. I'll drag these values on the screen like this, make it a little bigger. That should be my input data, I hope. And then I'm going to go over here to the right side again, click on number 8, hold my shift button down, go to 15, and drag out these guys. These should be the output data. I really can't do anything on this, but I'll show you anyway. These I can change, so I'm going to make them data entry by clicking this button right here. The easy way to duplicate that over is to highlight all these other yahoos like this, right click on them, copy from, choose all formatting. Notice I have a trailing X. It's asking me who do you want to copy from. Click on this guy right here, boom, takes care of that. And then one more thing I always like to do, team, since these are inputs and these are outputs, I'm going to go over to the right side and go to primitives. I'm going to click on one of these rounded rectangles. I'm just using that as a tool. And I'll just grab one. I just want to show you something. I'm going to drag this guy here like this. Make it a little bigger on the screen if I grab this corner right here. And then I'm going to double click on it because I don't want it to fill with any color. So I'll say no fill. But I'm going to give it a border, say 5 pixels, and I'll make the border be green because this is my input data. And then I'm going to right click and just copy this and then paste. And then on this one, move it over a couple pixels. This one I want it to be red, so I'll double click on it, go to the border and say red. And then I'm also going to right click and I'm going to make sure that this guy is moved to the back so we can see it. So let me download this and see what happens on the screen. So here's the web server of that particular unit. And you can see right here, folks, that I'm currently talking to that particular node. If I happen to turn on an input, you should see the inputs change here. There it is. If I turn on another one, this one should change here. And you can see it and so forth as I turn them on and off. There we go. Now, what I'd like to do next, though, is these are actually discrete inputs, and this one's my green color, this one happens to be my yellow, this one happens to be my blue, and this one happens to be my red color here. So I'm going to actually make some other tags to look at those. So back here in Crimson, we'll go to the left side again. Since the first 4 words coming in are actually discrete signals, just lights on or off, I'm going to go ahead and create some flag tags. Some flag tags. Remember, in our world, this little pull down of flag tag is a discrete or Boolean value. So this one happens to be the green one. Now I want to show you something. I want to link this to element 0 of this whole array. Watch this trick. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to expand. I'm going to click on my node data on the right side, expand the tree, and then I'm going to take this element number 0 and I'm going to drag it over here like this and drop it on the word internal. That now links this guy to that particular register. Now remember, the next color in my listing was going to be my yellow. So if I click on this over here on the left, highlight this one, this button right here is the smart duplicate. Watch what happens when I click this. Boom. It makes a copy, but more importantly, it auto increments the index value. So this is actually the yellow. And I'll click again. Boom. Whoops, I didn't click it, I guess. Let me click it again here. There's, okay. So this happened to me the other day. Let me click on this. This one here should be 0. Hold on. It should be number 1. Okay, now if I click this button, let's see if it does this. There we go. So this one here then should be the blue. There we go. And then if I click this button again, element number 3 should be the red. What it is. And then if I click it again, which I don't have anything on this one, but this next one. So this should be 0, 1, 2, 3. Get it again here. Should be number 3. Click this button again, I should get number 4. And this one's actually the buzzer here. All right. And then one more thing I want to show you here that might be interesting to notice is, go back to the web page, you can see element number 7 right here is the node status register. The node status register. So I go back to here, and that one is not just a flag, it is actually an integer value. So I'm going to hit the pull down here and choose a numeric tag. And I'm going to call this one node underscore status. And I'm going to link this to element number 7 of the array. So over here, I'm going to click on node data, expand the tree. I'm going to grab element number 7, drag this guy over here like this, boom. But number 7 has actually 3 important numbers, 0, 128, and 13,569. And those mean 3 different things. 0 means the node's not present. 128 in that register, which is what you can see right now, shows the node is currently online. And 13,569 indicates there's a node error. Let me turn off this node, and eventually this register here should show the number 13,569. Let's take a look and see here. I don't know what the timeout is. There it goes. Boom. Look at that. So if I turn the node back on again, watch what it does. Turn the node back on. Gateway is always scanning for the nodes. Now I have things pretty close, so let's see how long it takes for the autocorrect. It should go to 0, and then it should go to 128. Let's see here. There you go. Okay. But instead of showing these numbers, which doesn't mean anything to the operator, I'm going to go over here to Crimson, and I'm going to go to the Format tab. And on the Format tab, I'm going to make this, hit the pick button right here, hit the pick button. I'm going to declare this as a multi-state. And with my multi-state, down here in the value, I'm going to put 0 for that state. The next one is 128. And the next one after that is 13,569. Those are the 3 states that are affiliated. However, instead of this being the generic text, I'm going to say no node present. This one here is going to be node OK. And this one, when the power went off, node error, we'll just call it node error. Notice right here, team, that the match type is discrete. That means it has to match these exact numbers, which is perfect. One more thing I like to do is I always like to go to the Colors tab. And on the Colors tab, hit the pull down here and choose this as a multi-state. Click OK. And I'll put the same status numbers here, 0128 and 13569. This is the background color. So in this example, I always like to use gray as the background there, green here, and maybe red for that mode. And then I like to change the font to black for the font there, and I'll leave this one red. This is the foreground color. This is the background color. Okay. So to show this on the screen, I'm going to go over here to Display Pages. Notice the screen right now. If I click one more time, it doesn't show anything out here, but let me go over here to Data Tags. And I'm going to grab these new ones I just made. I'm going to drag these dudes out here like this. I want you to see something here. Let me make this a little bigger. This last one right here, if I zoom in a little bit, this one right here, I want this to get the colors as well from the tag. So if I double click on it, check this button right here, boom. It's going to get the colors that I set up at the tag level. Now click OK. Let's download this and see what happens. So here's our web server. Now if you look, team, if I turn on and off here, you'll see this should go to on. Yep. The yellow's on here. This is the yellow one. Here's the blue guy. And there's the red. Again, I don't have anything for the buzzer. But if I turn all those off, and then now if I turn the node off, I'm going to power the node off. Just the previous example, I was showing this number, which again, doesn't mean anything, but this does. Now the node is powered off. Eventually, the gateway is going to, look at there. It says, hey, I got a node error because I turned that guy off. So that's a lot better than this. This doesn't mean anything to the operator, but this does. This is perfect. I could have also put loss of power or something, but I just left the text as node error. So now if I turn that guy back on or power it back up, eventually the gateway is going to pick it back up again. And watch what happens here. You'll see that it'll change from 13.569 to 0 and then back to 128. There you go. And now I can, of course, I can turn on and off my inputs and you'll see them change right here on the screen. Okay. One more thing I'd like to do. So I've got this set up, but my real thing is I want to actually have, I'd like to have like maybe a light stack that would show this better than this right here. A light stack, if you will. Red, yellow, blue. I'm sorry, green, yellow, blue, and red. Should reverse these. But anyway, because I actually have green on the bottom. So I want to make like a widget stack here. So we're done with this part of the screen. So I'm going to highlight that stuff. I just used it for testing. I'm going to delete it so you can see it like that. And then I'm going to move this guy over here like this so you can see it. What I want to do now is I want to make a light stack tower that's a widget that I can reuse over and over again. So if I go over to primitives on the right side, and if I go to my home directory of primitives, I'm just going to go into the category called indicators. Now these are just a bunch of indicators out there. They don't look like a light stack or anything like that. However, I'm just going to use one of these as a tool. For instance, if I just click on this one, you got all these pre-built ones, doesn't matter. I'm going to grab this guy out here and drag it out like this. And I'm going to go ahead and double click on it and make it bigger. And you can see here, this is the default pictures that come in, but notice, over on the right side of Crimson, it automatically jumps into Symbols Factory because it's giving you a chance here to change the color of your icons, or your, not color, but the picture of your graphics. So if I go over here, and I believe, team, if I go into the Gadget Lights 2 directory, I can see there are some colors of light stack shows here. I don't suppose I have a blue. Well, and I should have researched this, but now there's these guys. Let's say that I'm going to start my first one here, and I'm going to use the green one. So they've got this vertical, and they got a horizontal green off. Let's say this one's my green. I'm going to drag this guy right here. Whoops. I'm going to drag this as my green on, and this would be my green off right here. So I'm going to affiliate this with my green tag by going over here to the right side, go to data tags, take the green tag and drag it right there. So now whenever green is on, this picture will show up. Green's off, this will show up. So I'll click OK. I'm going to make this guy like that. And I'm going to maybe shrink it down just a little bit, maybe make it a light stack. All right, so I got the green one done. I probably did these in the wrong order, but that's all right. If I right-click and do Smart Duplicate, watch what happens here. Boom. It puts a copy of it, but if you double-click on it, look, it automatically went to the yellow tag. Now, of course, it didn't change the graphics because the software doesn't know that part. But if I drag the yellow here, the amber off there, takes care of that guy. And then if I right-click again, do Smart Duplicate, this should go to the next, the blue. So here's a blue, blue off. And then if I right-click it in and do Smart Duplicate once again, double-click. This is the red one, I believe, the top. Yep, there's red right there. And then if I do Smart Duplicate once again, this one's the buzzer. I'm going to reverse these order in a second. And I think for the buzzer, I'm going to use this white color here for my buzzer, for instance. There we go. All right. Now, these guys are in the opposite order that I need. So I'm going to just go ahead and do this. Take that guy like that, that guy like that, that guy like that, that guy like that. Oops, that guy like that. Line them up. Maybe I won't. All right. So there's my light stack, like so. Now let me test this, team. Let me download it and see how it works so you can see if it works correctly. So here I am. If I turn on the green, you can see the green light goes on there. If I turn on the yellow, here's the yellow and this should go on. There's the blue. There's the red. Of course, I don't have any to the buzzer, but that's all right. There you go. So I'm actually turning them all on and off right there. The graphic works great, but I'd like to be able to reuse this thing. So what a great opportunity to widgetize this guy. What a great opportunity to widgetize. And to widgetize this, now that it's working correctly, I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to highlight all of it like that. I'm going to right click and go to the word widgetize. Now this widget right now has no data items, but really it actually has 5 because this is my 5 colors. So I'm going to hit the edit button here, extent, hit the edit button here, I'm put in number 5, cinco, hit OK. And now what I'll do, I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm going to do it in the order that buzzer, then they go red, I'm going to go back opposite here, then I have blue, oops, not bluey, blue, and the last one's green. Now, you can either put a description in here, team, or I'm just, for this example, I'm just going to delete these guys. Keep in mind that I'm actually pushing the delete key, not the space bar. That's bad news. You want to make sure you hit the delete key. All of these are Boolean tags, but they're also a flag, so they're in part of an integer. So these are all going to be an integer. And since these are basically read-only, even though they're yellow, they're formula tags, they're going to be just a tag type. I wish the wording here was readable, but tag means it's a readable, could be a writable tag as well, but it's a readable tag. So I'm going to click tag on all these. All right, then the last part of this, I'm going to disconnect everything in this graphic. I'm going to disconnect it from the real tags by turning on the folder binding. I want you to watch what happens. I'm going to click folder binding. Nothing happens here. I'm going to click the OK button down below. Look, everything looks off right now. There's nothing tied to anything right here, but I did folder binding. Watch what happens. I'm going to click OK. Oh, they all went to the off condition, which is really, or not off, but they went to the on condition, which is really intriguing because that's a telltale sign that they now got linked to the widget tag, which is correct situation. Now that I've got this guy saved like this, or not saved, but I've got it widgetized, I'm going to go ahead and hit the organize pull down, and I'm going to save the widget And I'm going to call this one my TL70 Power Light 70 underscore A, for instance, for my first revision. Hit save. So now that I've got it saved, okay, and I'm doing folder binding, here's what I can do next. I can simply go over here to data tags on the left, and I can do this. I can create a folder, call it group 1, and I can drag, for instance, my node data into that folder. And then I can grab my tags, and it doesn't matter what order, but I'll do it like this. So I got the buzzers on top, and then underneath that I got the red, then I believe the blue comes in, then the yellow, then the green. Order does not matter at all. Oh, and I got node status. Put that in there too. Okay? So now that they're in the folder, and this is really actually, you know what, team? This is actually node underscore 1. Correct? I mean, think about it. It's node 1. That's it. Everything's node 1. Now if I go over here to display pages, here's the magic to our widget tags. I can just simply right click on this guy and go bind widget, and I can grab this whole folder of node 1, drag the whole folder of tags right here on the target symbol, boom, and it automatically links up. If you look, go to properties, it automatically links up to those values like so. Now you might think that's kind of cool, but wait, what if I wanted to do this for 5 or 6 TL70s, and they all happen to be addressed as node 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for instance? Well, I can go over here to the data tags on the left, and here's what's kind of cool about this. I can right click on this folder I did and do copy, and then do Control V as in Victor, boom, 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 boom. So I get node 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All they did was make a copy of those directories. However, if I expand my node 2 tree, look at here. Node 1, this guy right here, my node data, starts at 17 and goes for 16 consecutive registers. So node 2, on the other hand, and I've got a little cheat sheet. If you haven't gotten this from your local banner guy, you should. There's a little spreadsheet that you can put in the node number. And look, node 2 starts at register number 33. So if I go over here and put in, okay, this guy's going to start at 6. And then if I go over here, expand my node 3, it's going to start at the next 16, which is more math than I can do, which apparently would be number 49. Look where this is ending. So if I put number 49 here, and then if I go to node 4, click on it, it's going to start at 49. Let's see, this is node 4. I'm going to go cheat, team. I'll put in number 4 here. It's going to start at number 65. And if I go to node number 5, number 80 here, it should be 81. And then node 6 would be 81 plus 16 is 97 maybe? 81, 96, 97, yep. So this one here would be number 97. Do that right? Yeah, correct. So, just to double check my settings, there's that. The 33 is correct. This should be something like 16 more. Yeah, 49 looks good. This one should be 16 more of that. 65 is pretty good. How about this guy? 81. And this one should be like 97. So, perfect. Okay. So, here's the beautiful thing. I can take this guy, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of them. Let's do this. Let me highlight this and get rid of this off my screen. I'll move this. Sorry, team. I'll move this over here like this. And now the beauty of widgets is I can go over here, expand this, go down here to the widgets directory. I should have a stack light. I call it TL70A. I can drag this guy out here like this. I'll drag it out a couple times. So we have node 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more. And if I want to line everything up, I'll right click and go align. A line at the top of this guy, boom. And then if you want to space them out equally, you can highlight everything like that. You can right click and go to arrange equally spaced horizontally. Boom. Okay, now I'm going to link this. I'm going to bind this to my node 2. Watch. Boom. I'm going to bind this to my node 3. Boom. Right click on this one, bind this one to my node 4. Boom. You got to say boom. Number 5 right here. Boom. And this one here is going to be number 6. All right. One more thing I want to do before I download this. I should have put in the node status on my widget, but oh well. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to drag this guy out here like this. This guy. I know I don't have a node number, so don't worry about that. And so we got node 1, 2, 3, 4. Away. You know what? Let's put this guy over here. That way here's number 5. And here's number 6. All right, let's go ahead and download this to our HMI here. And now we go over here. All right, so if you look here, I currently still have, and what's interesting is I powered up some other nodes here, so that's why you're seeing the status. This is still another node here, but you can see that I can turn on and off my IO here. Now I don't have a node 4, 5, and 6 in my system, so if you see right here it says no node present, I'm going to cheat a little, folks. I'm going to take this TL70 and I'm going to change its address to node number 5, for instance. To do this, I know you can't see me, but I'm going to pop off my stack lights. If I get to the bottom of this guy, and I'm using a diff. I'm waiting for the base of my TL70 to blink 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Now that it's done that, and if you watch the screen, it's going to second. And if you look, now node 5 shows up right here. And watch. If I turn on my lights, you can see right here, folks, that it works. Shows off my different colors as I turn them on this. I should put names. But that's a cool way to use both an array tag to build multiple registers for same products, particularly the TL70 Light Stack. And if you look what I did, I just created a database within 28 minutes to look at 6 different nodes mapping to multiple registers. So anyway, just thought I'd make that quick little video to show how to use an array tag within Crimson 3.0 to look at multiple TL70s wireless stack lights from Banner Engineering. If you haven't seen those products from your local Banner Engineering rep, you really should talk to them, because these are super cool products, fun to play with. Hey, thanks a lot, folks. Have a great day. We'll see you later.